right, PFT PM Tuesday edition. As always, we do awards in this spot. We don't have Shireen today. We don't know what to do technologically. We're putting up all sorts of different possibilities here, but it's just MDS and me, while Shireen and the rest of the selectors continue to grind through the 18-person potential Hall of Fame class, although the most to get in will be 8. MDS, how's it going today?
It's going well, missing Shireen, but, better her than us sitting through that long meeting.
Yeah, people ask me all the time, do you wish you had a vote on the Hall of Fame committee? And I can say this, acknowledging, number one, that they'll never give me one, but number two, that is the last way I would want to spend 8.5 hours or more on a Tuesday when there's work going on. So, Shireen, thank you for being the one to do it. Okay, let's get down to it. The Offensive Player of the Week, Defensive Player of the Week, Rookie of the Week, and Coach of the Week for the Divisional Round. Just the two of us today, MDS. Let's start with Offensive Player of the Week. Who do you have?
Well, I have Aaron Rodgers, and he was just so cool and methodical, and I never once thought it was in doubt that he was just going to move the ball at will against a good Rams defense. Now, granted, a Rams defense where Aaron Donald was at less than 100% healthy, but I just thought that Aaron Rodgers could do whatever he wanted. The stats are right there. He had 296 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, a rushing touchdown. He had no interceptions, no sacks, no fumbles. He barely had a negative play of any kind. He had some incompletions. What more can you say? He was outstanding in that game. I thought one of his best games of an MVP year.
Yeah, and the touchdown run with the pump fake was awesome. Everything he did was awesome. And it's a Rams defense that came into the game as one of the best in the NFL, and they looked like anything but against Aaron Rodgers and company. I'm going with Stefon Diggs. It was hard to find another one. Tom Brady didn't have a great game statistically, and I think the defense had a lot to do with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning the game. But Diggs had over 100 receiving yards against a defense with a great secondary. They didn't lock Marlon Humphrey up on him all game long. Maybe they should have. Maybe they should have doubled him all game long. He had 6 catches, 106 yards on 8 targets and a touchdown, proving yet again that he's the guy that boosted this team to the next level, that they were already a playoff team without him. But one of the reasons they're playing this weekend is the impact of Stefon Diggs and the ability to get the ball to him, even when playing a team that has the manpower to take Diggs away. They still weren't able to do it.
Yeah, and it really was probably the one of the lesser performances, I think, from the Bills offense. But Stefon Diggs is such a difference maker. That was one of those games where you really do look at it and you wonder, would they be here if they had not made that trade?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Defensive Player of the Week for the Divisional Round. MDS, who do you have?
Well, I'm sticking with the Bills, and as I said, it wasn't one of their better games overall from their offense, but the biggest play of that game came from Teron Johnson, who had that 101-yard interception return for a touchdown that really just completely changed the game. It looked like it was about to be 10-10, and the next thing you know, it's 17-3. It was almost a 14-point swing in that it looked like the Ravens were about to score 7, and then the Bills scored 7. After that play, it was never in doubt who was going to win. Before that play, it looked like a game that was going to go down to the wire.
Yeah, that was the turn out the lights moment for me. There was still plenty of time for the Ravens to get back into it. But when you got 17-3 at that stage of the game, the notion of the Ravens suddenly pulling out 2 touchdowns is a long shot. And then Lamar Jackson gets injured, and that was that. It was over, and it was that 14-point swing from the Teron Johnson touchdown return that made all the difference. For me, the Defensive Player of the Week is Devin White of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I've been praising him all week, and for good reason. He was, in the first half, a force. He not that he tried to do it on purpose, but his hit on Deontay Harris, knocked Harris out of the game. And that's what happens when a guy who's not very big isn't just returning punts and kickoffs. He's out there playing offense. He runs into a guy like Devin White, and you may end up not being able to continue. Again, not that he did it on purpose, but it's that physicality that he brings to the position that seems rare in today's NFL. He's physical, he's intimidating, but he doesn't cross the line. He's got controlled aggression where he goes just far enough, but he pulls it back in and doesn't get a 15-yard penalty. And then in the second half, his recovery of the Jared Cook fumble, it looked so easy, and we just think, oh, yeah, ball's bouncing around. He's a professional athlete. He should be able to scoop it up. How many times have we seen defensive players freak out when that ball's popping around, and the next thing you know, the offense recovers it because they're trying to pick it up and run with it, and it bounces off their hand, and it ricochets over here. And that's one of the things I love about the shape of the football. You never know where it's going to go. He caught it clean, and he was gone, and that allowed the Buccaneers to tie the game up, and then his interception allowed the Buccaneers to blow the game open. If he plays like he played in the second half for the next 8 quarters for the Buccaneers, they're winning the Super Bowl. The question is, can he keep playing like that? All right, Rookie of the Week, MDS. You got a guy who has a pretty clear connection to the moment where Devin White picked up that fumble.
Yes, I do. You and I were thinking the same thing on that Devin White play. As I'm watching that play, I'm thinking, boy, this guy could just as easily be an offensive player. If you know, his high school football coach had told him to play running back or tight end, he'd be in the NFL on offense. That's just the kind of all-around football player he is. But my choice for Rookie of the Week was actually the guy who forced that very fumble you were just talking about, and that's Antoine Winfield Jr. That was such an impactful play that I'm glad we're mentioning both players who were involved in it. But it was kind of funny to hear Bruce Arians talking this week and taking a little bit of a shot at Chase Young of the Washington football team and saying that Antoine Winfield Jr. really deserves to be the Defensive Rookie of the Year. I don't know if I would say that if we're really talking about the totality of the season, but Antoine Winfield has had a great year. He has started all 18 games now for the Buccaneers. He's had a big impact, and I'm going to be excited to see when Aaron Rodgers goes picking on a rookie cornerback, is Antoine Winfield ready for the best quarterback in the league in the biggest game of his very young career? I think that's going to be one of the real interesting things to watch this week.
I love the determination from Antoine Winfield, especially because he had a shot at an interception just a few plays before that. He seemed even more motivated to make something happen. All right, for me, it's Tyler Johnson, Rookie of the Week, the guy who made that incredible spinning, lunging catch on 3rd and 11 on the drive that ultimately gave the Buccaneers the lead 23-20. MDS, who do you have for your Coach of the Week?
I was so impressed with Andy Reid, the way he coached after Patrick Mahomes got hurt. Andy Reid has a great track record of that, whether it's last year when Mahomes got hurt in the regular season, whether it's with the Eagles when Donovan McNabb got hurt. Great job by Andy Reid.
And actually, Andy Reid earlier today was one of my goats of the week because of running Patrick Mahomes on 3rd and 1. So he gets a bad award and a good award. For me, the Coach of the Week, I got to give it to Todd Bowles for what he did with that defense. He had them ready to go. Without that defense, we're talking about the Saints playing this week, not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, thank you, MDS. We're going to take a break. When we return, we'll open up the mailbag. More PFT PM right after this.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.